Imagine this. You wake up every morning, drag yourself out of bed, and live a life designed by everyone else. Your parents, your friends, society, maybe even strangers on social media. Every choice you make is filtered through one question. What will they think of me? But deep down, you feel empty. Because no matter how hard you try, you can never satisfy everyone. And here's the truth. Life is too short to waste on pleasing others. You were not born to be someone's puppet. You were born to live your own story. Today, I want to remind you of a simple but life-changing truth. Live for yourself, not for others. This is not selfish. This is freedom. Part 1. The trap of living for others. From the moment we enter this world, expectations begin. Parents dream of what we will become. Teachers rank us by grades. Society measures us by money, status, and appearances. Friends judge us by trends, likes, and popularity. Without realizing it, we grow up in a prison built from opinions. Think about it. How many times have you said yes when your heart screamed no, just because you didn't want to disappoint someone? How many times have you followed a career path, stayed in a toxic relationship, or hidden your true self, just to avoid judgment? But here's the painful reality. No matter how much you sacrifice, people will always have something to say. If you succeed, they'll envy you. If you fail, they'll mock you. If you play safe, they'll call you boring. If you take risks, they'll call you foolish. Living for others is a losing game. Why? Because the rules keep changing. Here's the lesson. You cannot control what people think, but you can control how you live. The moment you stop living for approval, you take back your power. Part 2. Why living for yourself is not selfish. The phrase live for yourself often scares people. They confuse it with selfishness. But let me ask you, is it selfish to breathe? Is it selfish to take care of your health? Is it selfish to pursue happiness? Of course not. Living for yourself doesn't mean ignoring others. It means building a life that reflects your truth. When you are fulfilled, strong, and authentic, you actually become a better son, daughter, parent, friend, and leader. Think of an airplane. Before takeoff, flight attendants always say, "Put on your oxygen mask first before helping others." Why? Because if you can't breathe, you can't save anyone. Life works the same way. When you live for yourself, when you choose a career you love, when you set boundaries, when you honor your passions, you radiate energy. That energy inspires others. People around you see your courage, and they feel permission to do the same. So no, living for yourself is not selfish. It is the highest form of service. Because only when you are free, you can free others. Part 3. Breaking free from expectations. Breaking free is not easy. Expectations are chains, and sometimes those chains come from the people we love most. Parents, friends, teachers, even strangers, all with opinions louder than our inner voice. But here's the truth. Their expectations are based on their fears, their past, their experiences. They are not your destiny. If your parents want you to become a doctor, but your soul burns for music, ask yourself, whose life is this? Mine or theirs? If society says success means a big house and luxury cars, but your dream is simplicity and freedom, who are you living for? Them or yourself? Breaking free requires courage. Courage to disappoint some people. Courage to walk alone. Courage to trust your inner compass more than the crowd's noise. History remembers the brave, not the obedient. Steve Jobs didn't follow society's script. He created his own. Malala Yousafzai didn't bow to fear. She stood up for her truth. Every great leader, artist, innovator at some point chose to live for themselves, not others. You have that same power. Part 4. The power of authenticity. There is something magnetic about authenticity. When you meet someone who is unapologetically themselves, who speaks with honesty, who lives aligned with their values, you feel it. They don't have to pretend. They don't have to wear a mask, and that truth creates trust. But most of us live in disguise. We hide parts of ourselves because we fear judgment. We act tougher than we are, or smarter than we feel, or happier than we truly are, just to fit in. The result? Exhaustion. Because pretending is heavy. Authenticity is freedom. It means saying what you believe, even if your voice shakes. It means admitting when you're wrong, instead of defending your ego. It means expressing your joy without fear of being mocked, and your pain without fear of being rejected. Look at great leaders. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't give the "I Have a Dream" speech because it was popular. He gave it because it was true. Oprah Winfrey didn't rise by pretending. She rose by owning her story, even the painful parts. When you live authentically, people may not always agree with you, but they will respect you. Why? Because truth is rare and courage is contagious. The irony is this: the more you try to please everyone, the more invisible you become. But the more you live authentically, the more unforgettable you are. So ask yourself, where in my life am I hiding? Where am I saying yes when I want to say no? Where am I smiling when I want to cry? Every step you take toward authenticity is a step toward living for yourself. Part 5. Stories of Courage. Let's make this real with stories. There's a young man named J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was a single mother, broke, and rejected by multiple publishers. Everyone told her to get a real job. If she had listened, the world would never know Hogwarts. She didn't live for others. She lived for her story. Then there's Elon Musk. When he sold PayPal, he could have retired forever. Instead, he invested nearly all his money into SpaceX and Tesla. People laughed. Experts predicted failure. But he followed his vision, not their doubts. Now he's changing industries. Even closer to home, you probably know someone in your own life who made a bold choice. Someone who left a career they hated to follow their passion. Someone who walked away from a toxic relationship, even when friends said, "Don't." These people teach us that courage is not about having no fear. It's about choosing freedom over approval. And maybe you are that person in the making. Part 6. Embrace growth over comparison. One of the biggest traps that stops people from living for themselves is comparison. In your 20s, 30s, 40s, it doesn't matter. You'll always find someone ahead of you, richer, fitter, more successful, more popular. But here's the secret. Comparison is endless. You'll never win that game. Instead, measure yourself against one thing only: who you were yesterday. Did you grow? Did you learn something new? Did you take one step closer to your own vision? That's progress. That's success. Remember, a flower doesn't compete with the one next to it. It just blooms. You don't need to outshine anyone. You just need to outgrow yourself. When you shift your focus from competition to growth, your life transforms. Suddenly, other people's achievements don't make you feel small. They inspire you. You realize you're not behind. You're just on your path. Part 7. Live with purpose, not permission. Here's the ultimate shift. Stop asking for permission. So many people wait. They wait for approval from parents, from friends, from society. They wait to be ready. They wait for the perfect moment. But waiting is just fear in disguise. Living for yourself means living with purpose. And purpose doesn't come from others. It comes from within. Ask yourself, what impact do I want to make in this world? It doesn't have to be huge. It could be creating art that inspires, building a business that helps, raising a family with love. Purpose doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be yours. When you live with purpose, you stop living on autopilot. You stop waiting for approval. You start moving boldly, even when the path isn't clear. And here's the truth. People may not understand your purpose. That's okay. It wasn't given to them. It was given to you. Closing. So let me ask you again. Whose life are you living? Theirs or yours? At the end of the day, no one else walks in your shoes. No one else feels your dreams at night. No one else carries your heartbeat. When you die, people may talk about you for a while, but then They go back to living their lives. So why waste your one precious life trying to meet their expectations? Live for yourself. Live your truth. Live your passion. Because when you do, you not only set yourself free, you give others the courage to do the same. This is your story. Write it boldly.